So, mugshot Mark Anthony, single father and TikToker, is saddened at the fact that women would not allow their daughters to come to his house for a sleepover with his daughter.
I knew there was more to this story.
I'm not saying he is, but why do I feel like this is exactly how a predator would behave?
You heard that title right, and unfortunately, it is not going to get any better. Now, before we hop into this video, I want you to watch the whole video, get to know your girl a little bit, and see if you will consider subscribing. Alright, this TikTok dad, let's talk about it. What's hot right now on TikTok news is a father by the name of Mark Anthony that wanted to host a sleepover for his daughter. Let's talk about sleepovers for a second. Do I think that you should let your kid, no matter the gender, sleep over at somebody's house? No, I don't. Especially a daughter and the only parent is a single father. No, I just don't think that it's safe to have your kids sleeping at somebody else's house, considering the things that could happen.
So like last year, I was trying to throw my daughter like a slumber party, and once again, no woman lives in the household. It's just me and my daughter, and like I communicated with one of the mothers, like just to see if she can get the ball rolling, because she know a bunch of more mothers and whatnot. And then I asked, do she feel comfortable having, and as I was talking, she straight up interrupted me. No, I don't feel comfortable with that at all. And like I said, because I'm a man, and she was honest, and I respect her honesty. She was like, yes. And I'm like, that really did make me feel some type of way. So I expressed my, not even frustration, I was really sad. And I expressed that with other women, and they was like, well, Mark Anthony, you gotta see where she coming from, and blah blah blah, this and that and whatnot. And I do understand like where women coming from, but it just hurt my feelings to know that me, just as a man, I get labeled as that. And like I would never do nothing like that to I would never do nothing like that to kids, because like when I was growing up, like it was a situation, like I try to make jokes about it and whatnot, and like long story short, it happened to me, but by a woman. And I just remember that feeling as I got older, and when I was younger, I would never do that to a child. And just know that like I could even throw my daughter like a slumber party is because like they think I'ma do what somebody did to me, which was a woman, by the way. And like that shit made me damn near like cry for real, bro, because I'm just trying to like have my daughter, but that shit just made me really feel some type of way.
But let's break the situation down. This father wanted to host his daughter's sleepover, so he called another mom asking to get the ball rolling. And she said no because he's a man and she just doesn't feel comfortable with that. And as a girl, that's a valid reason, because are you going to let your daughter sleep over in a single man's house? I wouldn't. You might do it, but I wouldn't. Perspectives. Okay, before I keep going, it is raining outside, so if you hear like rain in the background, that's why. Most moms have the right to decline the sleepover request because it's only him in the house, and if you don't get it, then get with it. I don't even care if the father is married or if it was a single mom. My kid is not sleeping nowhere at anybody's house. How I would do it is they can stay over for a few and I can pick them up at nighttime, but only if I really know the parents like that. But spending the night is a no. I can pick you up later. You can stay the whole day, but I'm picking you up at like 11 o'clock. So I definitely understand the mom's perspectives in this situation. Now let's talk about the dad's perspective. He said that he understood why the mom said no, and okay, cool. I will say it is very unfortunate how like as a single dad, you won't be able to do things like hosting a sleepover because you're a dad, and like you know how today's world is, anything can happen. So it's unfortunate when you get hit with reality, and for the genuine fathers out there, I know it sucks not being able to do things that like a mom would do with their daughter. In today's world, even the men that are genuinely good people, would never do wrong to nobody, are labeled as bad automatically if you don't know them. But he said that he was sad because he's getting labeled as that, as weird, just because he's a man. And it's unfortunate, but like in this world, you just gotta be more safe than sorry and just miss out on some stuff. He was expressing that it was making him sad because, you know, he's a man, he's getting labeled as that, and he would never do that to a kid because he ended up sharing his own SA story. And what he went through is the reason why he would never do anything like that to a kid. Let me say, he's allowed to be sad that he can't experience this with his daughter, but the reasons why the moms decline is where the red flags are starting to come up. The whole situation that escalated after that on social media. Honestly, for me, when he mentioned he was SA'd as a kid, I would think as a parent, that would cause you to be more protective of your kid and not let them go somewhere. And understand the perspective of a parent that might not want you to be around them, like alone, having a sleepover. I may be pushing it, but it's like he brought up his SA story to prove that because he went through this as a kid, he would not do it to another kid, and that's why he should be trusted to host a sleepover, because he wouldn't even think about doing that in a million years. It's like he said that because he went through this, I wouldn't do this, so let me host a sleepover. But I may be pushing it because it is very unfortunate that he went through that anybody goes through that. But that does not mean because you go through something that you should automatically be trusted because you know what that pain is. I'm not saying at all that it is him, but in some cases the abused become the abusers. But this main problem is that he's taking it personal. And according to him, the mom did say she just didn't feel comfortable, and he's also allowed to not feel right about not being able to host a sleepover, but he did say that he understood where the mom was coming from. He, as an adult, should know why the moms would feel that kind of way and to not take it personal. That it's nothing personal to not want your daughter to go to a sleepover with this single father, or for anybody at that. Yes, he may be a good man, but again, it's nothing personal. And her just saying that it was uncomfortable for her should have been the end of the conversation. There's no need to bring it up anymore. She feels uncomfortable. Okay, we don't need to do this. Let's just hang out somewhere or something. No sleepover required. There's people saying, and honestly, I agree too, that him bringing this up over a year later, because he's the one who brought this up a year later, is kind of a red flag, because why are you dragging it on a whole year later on social media? He was making it a big deal that he was sad and frustrated, like he really truly does not understand why the moms would not feel comfortable with him hosting a sleepover. Again, he is allowed to feel sad because he doesn't get to experience this with his daughter, but him dragging it to the internet and arguing with people like to this day about it is a little suspicious, if you ask me. And I don't know if this part was true, but there's people saying that it was his idea to host a sleepover and not even his daughter's. And if that's true, him wanting to host a sleepover and not being able to and being mad about it a year later is kind of suspicious. There's nothing wrong with wanting to plan a sleepover for your children, but you should know why these moms said no, and you're dragging it on the internet a year later. Nobody knew about this situation but you and them moms, and now you're making it a whole deal on the internet. Who is this man? We now know the situation and know both perspectives, so let's dig into who this man is. Again, this man's name is Mark Anthony, and to no surprise, the people found out who this man really is. They done found his mugshot, y'all. They found it. They found him. Of course. Apparently, this man went to jail for child endangerment, domestic violence, and false imprisonment. Okay, and he's upset and depressed that moms don't want their kids to sleep over at his house. Please get out my face right now. I understand that people change, but ask yourself the question. If another adult has the same charges as you, are you letting their kids spend the night at your house? Oh, okay. Now this man has been to jail, but that is not the end of it. They found his Twitter page. They found his Twitter page. Yes, that kind of Twitter page, the nasty stuff. Are we serious? Are we serious right now? And apparently, before this whole situation went viral, he had a spicy link for his content in his TikTok bio.
I knew there was more to this story.
He got away with it, but he ain't get away with it.
They won't let their kids come over because I'm a single dad. I thought he just had a speech impediment now.
A bunch of more mothers and whatnot. And then I asked, do she feel comfortable having, and as I was talking, she straight up interrupted me. No, I don't feel comfortable.
You all on the internet popping your booty to Beyonce. That lady knew it too. That's why when you started asking, she was like, absolutely not. Well, in the car talking about, I feel some type of way. I bet the way you felt didn't have nothing to do with that party. Homie, live your life. But don't act like it was just because you some kind of single daddy that was the issue.
He got away with it, but he ain't get away with it.
It could have been a single mama with an OF page and people would have had the same response. Homie, keep it 100.
I'm not sure if he still does this content, but that makes the situation no better. Okay, listen, I don't care what nobody says. Corn is a life ruiner, and I don't care. I said what I said. If you knew the parents of your child's friend made adult content for money, are you letting them spend the night at the house? No. How can you even have children and watch and or make corn? I don't know. Some people think that corn doesn't affect you, but it really does. Whether you realize it or not, you are putting that literal brain rot in your head that you can't live without. You people are addicted. And you don't see nothing wrong with that? You're watching people do this nasty stuff and you don't see nothing wrong with that? Oh, okay. But anyway, the same man that wants to host his daughter sleepover has police charges and makes adult content. Again, he's allowed to feel hurt, but let's not pretend that you don't do this stuff, bruh. And why people would be uncomfortable if they knew this about you. His response. Let's look at his response on this girl's video.
There is a single father going viral right now because he is a single dad of a little girl.
Now let's finish watching this and look at her point of views of why I shouldn't have a sleepover for my daughter.
Like you, if you're a real parent, would not feel comfortable with that. Like period, point blank. If they're not kin, no.
Listen to what you just said, then you turn around and say this.
I would never do that to a child because something like that happened to me growing up, and it's just like that's not a good reason to not do that to a child. You should not do anything to a child because it's a child, not because it happened to me and I know how it made me feel.
You said you won't let your child spend a night at somebody's house unless they can. But who's doing all the touching at first? It's always somebody in the family. That's how it always starts. Because exactly, you don't give your kids access to strangers. And once again, I understand that. So therefore, that's where it starts at. With a family member touching on these little kids. And then just overlook the fact that I got molested. Just overlook that, right? Okay, whatever. All right. And I was saying I understand how that makes somebody feel. So why would I do that same feeling to a child? What the fuck is...
What I'm getting is that he's saying it's not okay for family members to sleep over at other families' house because that's where all the bad things happen, what he mentioned. That's where it always happens first. And that is true. In some cases, it is the family members that are the weird ones and will do something to your kids. Unfortunately, that is a very true fact. Anyway, he said that you shouldn't have your kids be with other strangers, and he understands that. And is that part of contradiction? Because he's trying to have a sleepover with his daughter's friends, but he's probably not even friends with the other parents' moms. To the fact that he can't even like comfortably, well, he doesn't have the power to get the ball rolling for a sleepover since he even has to ask another mom. But he probably is friends, but is that a contradiction? Let me know what you guys think about that, because maybe I'm just reading it a little bit too into it. And again, he said he would not do that to a kid because he went through this, so he knows the pain. But okay, let's keep going.
Anyway, let's keep going.
Go, and sure enough, he has content on X. He charges $10 for you to get into his private Twitter where he does OF content, and he also has obviously an OF account. No, my daughter is not going to spend the night at your house.
What the fuck do that got to do with anything? That's like saying strippers make bad mothers or some shit. So now, because I have a Twitter or special pages and all that, now I really what is that like you? It seems like you're trying to make me out to be this predator towards kids by explain. Because what was the point of bringing that up if I have no? Y'all weird. I understand y'all want to get to know somebody and blah 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 for your child spend the night. I understand that you're not comfortable with it, but now you trying to make me seem like I'm fucking weird. Get the out of here with that. And oh, my daughter wouldn't able to spend the night at your house because apparently it's kin. You probably got an uncle in your family I don't know about. You probably got a cousin because apparently only family can know. What the?
So he confirmed that he does make the content, but doesn't see why other parents wouldn't want their kid to be around an adult that does that. Because he makes the content, but it has nothing to do with his kids. So that shouldn't be a judging factor for other parents on him. I don't know. Like I said, if I knew my daughter's friend had a parent that did that stuff, you can be friends with them, but you're not going to their house because what? Anyway, there are people that are calling him a predator because a year later, he's still going on about the situation. He has these accounts and he's mad that, well, frustrated, sad, depressed, that he can't host his daughter's sleepover. And he really doesn't understand why these moms said no to the idea. And he's acting like he really understand why people are against the fact that he shouldn't be hosting this sleepover. And he is the one that brought it to the internet after all this time, so that makes it no better. Do I think that people are reaching by implying that he's a predator? I don't know. I don't think that he's trying to do something to these kids. Like, I don't think that he's trying to go and touch these kids. That's why he's still sad about not being able to host the sleepover. And people really do like to just grab stuff out they behind and just throw it out there and say it. But I don't think that he's obsessed with kids or trying to touch them or anything. But it is weird how he's bringing it up and really not understanding why some people will disagree, and he's taking it personal. Him taking it personal, bringing it up all this time, is the red flag. Really pretending not to know why they disagree, because he's obviously still bothered. His response continued.
You said it. You know.
Is this you? We in the same boat. You just got your clothes on. You out here doing a baby boo challenge. Baby boo, you need to be worrying about your child. You over here more focused on trying to get outside and shake your little, your ass in instead of trying to be a mother. Don't ever fucking come for me like that. What the fuck that even got to do with anything? Oh, still booty. Oh, he weird. He got accounts. Oh, he a predator. Oh my goodness, that is so weird behavior. Is you mad because I can throw my in yours? Because that was that garbage. Do I gotta show you how to throw your? And then you just made a video about me being gay or bisexual, which are false things. I'm gonna come in on that in the next one.
I'm not gonna lie, that mom was in no position to be making that video after the stuff that she be posting. But again, he sees no problem with why parents might not want their kids to be around him knowing he makes that kind of content. Saying you can live your life the way you want outside of your kids, but some people think that that's not right and that is bad, and they don't want their kids around that. And him responding to her twerking is interesting, but I'm not gonna say nothing.
And this why men don't open up right here. Once again, I'ma say it over and over again. I was touched by a woman when I was younger. I'ma say it, a woman touched me when I was younger. And society acting like women can't be predators too. They always overlook little boys and whatnot, and then little boys have to deal with them feelings, and the most of the feeling like, oh yeah, I'm a man now, and blah blah blah, not knowing that can really hurt with them themselves. Now, I'm not taking away anything from women, but look at this insensitive bullshit that she said about me getting touched by a woman as a child. She said, get over your hurt. Get over my hurt? What the what's wrong with you? Woosah, woosah. And then you end it. Too many women have experience. What you think the only reason men ain't come? A lot of men talk about it in the most. A man just bring, yeah, when I was young, a woman, yeah, and they hype. That ain't nothing to be hype about. Men are hiding hurt. Like I know how it feels. This said, get over your hurt and look at the bigger picture. Got touched. What's bigger than that? And why would I want? I'm done.
He is right. Society does think that women can be predators like men, and they're not held to the same pedestal as a man that essayed somebody. And a lot of men's stories do get overlooked because they're a man and it's not that serious, especially if it's by a woman. Nobody should have to go through assault, and I am sorry that he went through that. Nobody is trying to deny his experience like he thinks they are. The people that are bringing it up are saying that because he went through this, he should be on another level of understanding of why parents wouldn't want their child to have a sleepover with him. But that's the part that he's not getting. Now with his police charges, he said that there was only dropped to assault battery because there was no child endangerment. And it was really his white baby mama that was the one that did him wrong, and he didn't do anything wrong. So that's to clear up with the police charges, and that's that.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I pled guilty to a simple battery. It got dropped down to a simple battery because no child was in danger. My white baby mother was acting belligerent, and like that got the police called on me. I didn't do nothing wrong. And a white police officer came up. And I know y'all thinking, Mark, you did that to yourself dating a white woman. Yes, I did do that to myself. But that's how the child endangerment came in place, because I was the one arrested. But it got dropped down to a simple battery. You see that?
Now on his TikTok, he's just going back and forth with the people putting labels on him. And I will agree, this is the internet. People drag everything, and people are dragging this situation. But he's also entertaining the situation by still talking about it. The mature thing to do is make your one response and just let people think what they do, think what they want, because their opinion is obviously not going to change. And you already know what you did isn't wrong, so just let them think whatever they want. Do I think that some people are reaching? Yes, I do. But I also think he's in the wrong too for truly not wanting and refusing to understand why these moms and the people that he brought into the situation are saying that he should not be hosting a sleepover. And him bringing it up over a year later. He may not like the other side, but he is choosing not to see both of them, only his. What do you guys think? Do you think there's no problem with him trying to host a sleepover for his daughter, or are people really dragging this situation too far? Now we made it to the end of the video, and I hope you guys consider subscribing, and I hope you have a blessed day or night. Bye!